Good evening, everyone. So this meeting has been advertised in accordance with the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act and is publicly accessible in accordance to law. Can we have the roll call, please?
Sure, Rocco,
Present?
Dr. George,
Here.
Sarah, Maria, I am here, Zainab, Gina,
Here.
Maddie, Mayor Walker,
Here.
Frank,
Here.
Dr. Bragan. Bragan? Did I say that?
Bragan.
Bragan. Thank you.
Okay, we will now have the salute to the flag. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so our first order of business is executive session. Is that necessary for this meeting? Do we need to
I
have?
have a couple of personnel items you want to. Yes, exec for personnel and negotiation.
Okay, so can I have a motion to go into executive session for personnel and negotiations?
So move.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And the recording is being stopped.
Okay, we're back. Let's move on to the minutes. We can do A and B together, so approval of the regular meeting minutes of October 8th, 2025, and the approval of the executive session minutes of October 8th, 2025. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second. Okay, any questions, any comments? Okay, roll call please.
Rocco,
Yes.
Dr. George. I'm sorry, what did she say? I didn't hear her.
No.
Okay. Gina,
Yes.
Mayor Walker,
Yes.
Frank,
Abstain.
thank you.
Okay, all right, moving on. Should we do one at a time with these, or should we?
Yeah, these.
Yeah, okay. So we're going to go to personnel, we're going to do the approval of the job description for full-time facilities manager. Can I get a motion
I'll make the motion.
and a second?
I'll second.
Okay, discussion?
Yeah, see if I can find one copy. I wasn't looking for this, but I get, my email is set up for anything that comes in looking for, any jobs for library jobs. So what I'm gonna read to you, this is one I just found. And it's from Salt Lake City, which is obviously a much bigger city than we are. They're advertising for a facilities manager, starting salary is $75,500, and it goes up to $102,000 whenever they do. But the difference is, this really is a facilities manager, which is someone who's highly required, has a degree in the master in engineering. It's got a big system, I mean, there's 11 libraries in Salt Lake City. And whereas what we're titling as this, to me, this position is really not what I would qualify as a manager of that, given that you got other things on there such as shoveling snow.
We discussed that last time, because I brought that up, but I think we were just saying that that person would be a backup to something like that. What we're looking to do, and correct me if I'm wrong, is we're trying to take this out of Dawn's hand and getting it to someone that's going to be able to do, a facility manager it's another name. I mean, you could use a property manager, there's a lot of different names you can use, it just depends, but we discussed it, I said, it's not that we're asking the person to physically shovel the snow, it's to make sure to oversee that the snow is shoveled properly. The only thing, the difference that I saw in the original one to the one that we ended up getting was the preferred qualifications, which was not on the first one. That was the only difference, but we all discussed this, and we were all in agreement, at least when we sent it out, that we should move forward so that we can get this going, so that this can be taken off of your hands and somebody else will do this. But I mean, I think it depends what state you're looking at, what a facilities manager is. You can look in New York and a facilities manager is completely different than what we're looking for. Because in New York, they may be doing 20 high-rises, where they're involved from soup to nuts, from dealing with the unions and the HVAC systems and the boilers and all of that stuff. I think that the name it's just a label. I think what we need is we just need somebody that knows what they're doing and can take over dealing with the contractors, the repairs on the building, overseeing the day-to-day operations of what this building needs, so that it doesn't fall on Dawn, who really shouldn't be doing this.
Debbie, what do you do with town hall?
With, as far as that,
You have somebody who's like a facilities manager?
no, we really have Casey. Casey is really our facility. He's the doer, Casey's amazing, yes, everybody knows.
Yeah.
He's the director of DPW, but he's taken on a lot.
Yeah.
He's the fix-it man. Any problem, you could call Casey. He's here in 2 minutes
And we do avail ourselves, the municipality is very generous with us, and I try to be extremely conscious of that. And that's why, because of the volume we're doing with the number of people here and with the building and all of those things going on, it really is our partner for DPW who's going to be able to handle making sure that we're always have 3 contractors' estimates in and all, the bid process and all of that. The town helps us where they can, but there's a limit to how much they can do for us.
yeah, I mean, Casey has a lot on his plate. It's a big town, and it's growing.
I mean, we've talked before about when we get bids, we're always saying we would like to get 3. Well, when that's not your primary job, it's hard to get 3 people, 3 contractors to wanna bid on stuff. I'm dealing with it at my job I can't find 3 concrete companies that are large enough to do certain jobs. This is a large facility and needs to have 3 bids, but it's hard to find someone that is capable of doing that. Just on the Shade Tree Commission, we can't find 3 contractors that wanna plant trees.
Yeah, we wanted a railing
Yeah.
put up at the courtroom to separate the public from the council. We couldn't get anybody to do it. We were gonna do it in-house, but we finally got someone to do
Yeah,
it.
there's one company that I know that does cleanse iron. It's a dying trade. They don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
So it's hard, it's getting harder and harder.
And it's also, it's the signage and the safety. We have regular days now where we're getting 800 people a day in here, making sure that, that the chairs are laid out properly. Right now I've got staff who, aren't exactly in the best of shape to be putting up all these chairs. You know what I mean? That's not part of their job description, to be setting up and breaking down rooms. And we want more people from the public using these rooms. I wanna open them up more. We have a lot of HOAs right now. We just opened up to the American Cancer Society. They lost their home and now they wanna make us their home. And this just requires someone to make sure that everybody in this building knows who's here, who belongs here, and make sure that everything's set up the right way.
Can I ask,
If we did,
Need a
my
list.
HOA,
We have a lot of it.
I need them, I need
my
a
HOA
list.
comes in.
I have a
You too?
list, I have a list.
You have an updated one?
Pretty updated.
Okay,
Mary
maybe get
has
it
it,
tomorrow.
Mary has it too.
Joan, you had something?
yes, do we still have the position of a custodian? Do we plan to keep that job also?
Yeah, the part-time custodian was for me because we do have hours. This way we can get people sometimes here for evenings and weekends and things like that. So it was keeping the custodian and getting the facilities manager. That was the plan.
Okay, when, having been involved for a long time with personnel, I am aware of what job descriptions we have. We do have a facilities manager job description. We didn't ever rescind that, but it's there. And then we have the custodian job description. If you check the responsibilities and the jobs, they overlap. So we have 2 cleaning people, I guess 2 shifts of cleaning. a custodian and a facilities manager? Will that be the setup of this group?
They're subcontracted cleaning services, and we need some increased oversight of the effectiveness of that service. And that would be under the facility manager's job. Right now, I can't have the custodian managing the cleaners because the custodian doesn't manage anyone. And they're here part-time.
Well, I think that again, these job descriptions are online as being active or at least approved and never changed. I think they have to be addressed before we adopt another one.
If you're approving a new facilities manager position, it would supersede any existing, it's like a will.
Yeah. And I did send it to the union as well as the board to review
The whole
it.
board got it, right?
Yeah, yes. Whole board got it, union got it.
Well, if anybody wants to compare it with the one that's in place, just to see what we're changing, they're on our website. Our current approved job descriptions.
Okay,
Anyway.
any further discussion?
The thing you made about having the ability sometimes to have enough people to set up chairs.
Yeah.
The big times that usually happens, the biggest one we had here was when we had a doo-wop people here, we had people from Marlboro, from, you name it, from every retirement, and the room was filled totally, and they were outside in this room.
Yeah.
So, that's done, what time? Saturday, 2 o'clock?
So we're expanding the music program beyond the Saturdays. So that was,
Will that be in the evening or?
they're gonna be at all different times in order to accommodate the public. But this person, when we have very large programs, this person will be expected to be at those programs on those days. Old Bridge Day, the person will be here.
And I was gonna say, though, couldn't we have another list of either college kids who live in town or high school kids who are 18 or so? And we've got a pool of them, so if 3 can't make it, if you need more, just set it all up.
And with volunteers, one of the things that we have to address, and this has been going on at the safety committee, we have to have insurance for those people. And I don't believe they're currently insured. So we have to address that if we're gonna, if we're gonna have kids coming in to lift things and that kind of thing where they could get injured. We have to take a look at that.
Check with our lawyer.
And also, if you're gonna have volunteers setting up things that are going to be used by the public, then they are the library.
Yeah.
So care needs to be taken
Yeah.
with that.
I wasn't
You
proposing
gotta be careful.
volunteers, I was proposing paying for them.
So you wanna hire,
Only as needed, which, it's like a shaping job for a union.
consider per diems for the custodial staff, that's something to consider.
Any other discussion? Okay, then we will go to a roll call.
Sorry. Dr. George?
I'm sorry, I don't know what the vote is. It's hard to hear.
It's to approve the job description, the new job description for the new full-time facilities manager position.
Was there a motion?
Yes.
I abstain.
I am a yes. Gina?
Yes.
Mayor Walker?
Yes.
Rocco?
Yes.
Frank, I missed you. Sorry, Frank.
I'm always last, I mean, listen.
No, you shouldn't be last, actually. I try to go in a
You're good.
descending
No.
order, yep.
Continue.
No,
No? Did you say no?
yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
Everybody?
that's everybody.
Motion passes. Okay, so Personnel B, approve the job posting of an additional part-time adult services librarian. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, discussion? Okay, no discussion, we'll have a roll call.
I am a yes. Gina?
Yes.
Mayor Walker,
Yes.
Frank,
Yes.
Rocco,
Yes.
Dr. George,
Yes,
thank you.
And then approve the sidebar agreement with AFSCME local for the 2026 compensation with salary increase in the amount of 3%. Need a motion
I'll make a motion.
and a second?
I'll second it.
Okay,
Dr. George, second.
discussion? We'll say that this is a good thing if we can get this passed, so roll call please.
Gina,
Yes.
Mayor Walker,
Yes.
Frank,
Yes.
Rocco,
Yes.
Dr. George,
Yes,
and I am a yes, thank you.
And we will have personnel item D, approval of out-of-title contractual stipend for Amy Trombetta for the period of November 26th through December 4th, 2025.
Okay, can we have a motion?
Move it.
Okay, and a second? I'll second. Okay, any discussion? Okay, roll call please.
Mayor Walker,
Yes.
Frank,
Yes.
Rocco,
Yes.
Dr. George,
abstain.
and I am a yes. And Gina's a yes. And Matt, Maddie, you're not voting. Oh, boy. Thank you.
All right, so we're going to move on to finance, action on the November 12th, 2025 bill listing in the amount of $337,073, did I get that right? Yes, and 42 cents, I should put my glasses
I have two quick things. There was a last minute increase, $290 for PSE&G because their billing cycle is a little bit off. They were threatening to cut off our service. So we will take care of that. And then we will immediately afterward get our other bills. Irene's got everything under control. I do want to mention one other thing that the treasurer did have question that we discussed with the board president about my travel reimbursements, and we went through those things with when my contract starts and what my limits are, and we covered all of that to make sure that the treasurer and the board president were in agreement that we could move ahead.
Okay, so just to amend this, action on the November 12th, 2025 bill listing in the amount of $337, I hope I have this right, $363.42.
337.
Wait,
Right?
the revised agenda already covers it.
Oh, okay, it does, I apologize.
Your math, while
Am I-
impressive, is unnecessary.
Thank you. You don't understand the kind of pressure a social studies supervisor goes under. All right, my apologies, so,
Since telephones and computers, nobody can do anything.
this is true. All right, so can I have a motion for that?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, and a second?
I'll second it.
All right, any discussion?
Yes. I don't have my list with me, but I think it's the first item on there. There were 500 cables, somebody squeezed whatever the toy was. 3 things. I think it's the first that, anybody got the list they can look at? The good list?
Oh, sorry.
Paper cut.
Paper cut.
Oh, that's the worst cut. Oh. That's why e-books are good, I guess.
Where am I? How am I missing? Here it is. Got it, this.
Sorry. What am I missing?
This is what we signed, we're supposed to be signing this too, right?
We don't do that
You
anymore.
are signing it?
Yeah, we're not signing.
Okay, it is the first item. It covers 2 invoices, well, one is postage and the other. But it talks about 1,000
Yes,
webcam covers, 1,000 rubber ducks,
yes,
and 500 charging cables.
yes,
Collectively, it's $4,700.
yes.
Question is, how many other charging cables to be given away?
Yes, so this is all in our promotions, which was approved in our budget. These are, what we're doing is we're changing up the promotions. So there was a time when we would order, everybody knows the insulated bag. Everybody in town had an insulated bag, and we would order 5,000 of them and they would last forever. That doesn't exactly increase traffic into the library. We want to do what I call the McDonald's method, where we have smaller groups of things that people are excited to get. So that they're coming into the library, it's just another way to try to increase foot traffic. So we wanted to also try something, so the webcam covers weren't that expensive. They cover your camera on your computer. We did wanna do something a little more special, the charging cables. Those were a little more expensive, but there's something that is going to draw people in and they're gonna say, I want that. So what we're doing is we have, in that promotions budget, we're keeping to that. And like I said, that was approved in the budget, but we're doing it strategically. So we're trying to order like 3 times a year. Our promotional materials, we're keeping, we're keeping track of it, and it's not, we're not ordering by whim. We're targeting where that money's
No,
going.
I know you're not ordering by whim, I mean, it's clearly picked. But the question I have is for the cables, what are they? CC,
So this is.
6 feet?
Nope, this is what's great. This is not one long cable. This is, I think I brought.
The A goes in and you got 4 other pieces.
You've got 4 different,
Okay.
different types of,
Forget about
cables on
5
there,
of them.
yeah. So it really is, you put the USB into the computer, and then you've got all of these different things, so they're really handy.
Yep, I know, I got about 5 of them. I didn't buy them, I got them at conventions.
Yeah.
And I can get them here.
Yeah.
No, I don't need it.
Get them for free.
I can get them because I don't know.
Always give them to us. We brought them very good at that. Okay, any other questions about the finance? About finance? Okay, let's have a roll call, please.
Frank,
Yes,
Rocco,
Yes.
Dr. George,
Yes,
I am a yes. Gina,
Yes.
Mayor Walker,
Yes.
thank you.
Okay, we're gonna move on to new business. We have 2 items. I think I'm gonna do this together. Oh, old business? Oh, I'm sorry, old business first. I apologize. Any old business that we need to be bringing up at this time?
I don't know if it's appropriate here, but I think it is. The board had asked me to find out if we needed to replace the boilers, if it was better to replace the boilers
Yeah.
than to have them repaired. And the resounding response from Unitemp is no. They feel that we can get a bare minimum 2 more years out of the boilers. But one person said last week that he feels with proper maintenance, we would get 10 more years out of them. So everyone has said they're in very good shape. There was a lot of maintenance that needs to be done proactively that wasn't being done. It was sort of waiting until things explode. And so there are, back to what was proposed last month was the backflow preventers on the boilers, that those 3 be repaired, and that was about $6,000. Then they did their first look at our whole system, and on our rooftop units, there's a repair that needs to be done to all of those. Again, it's just to keep things in good order so that they don't start shutting down. When he went in, one of the boilers was seized up from summer. He went in and got everything going, and there's a number of repairs, mostly on the plumbing. It's not the motors on the boilers or anything like that, it's plumbing around. So there's another estimate for $2,000. We're getting the bill now from summer when they came in and did the air balancing. They spent a lot of hours here and they fixed all of our, no one's complaining about the hot and the cold right now. So they fixed all of that, so that's another invoice that we're gonna be paying. But their recommendation is that we do not do that. I also brought up the energy savings possibility, and they said that as they're new, they need to look at that over a long-term period. But they're saying, it's not something where we're gonna recoup the cost in 2-3 years. It would be a longer term. So we are looking at those things, keeping an eye on it. I think we're forming a good relationship. And I'm hoping that we're just gonna pass all of our inspections this year without any repairs and things being done. So that's that.
Maybe you could get grant money, especially to replace them.
And that's,
A lot of grants out there, there's a lot.
yeah, and when it comes time for us to do that, we'll certainly take a look at that. It's interesting, the energy savings program that was very big for a while with the lighting and with HVAC units and things like that. They've gotten a little strange. When I looked up the programs, it said, use one of our contractors or suggest your own and get them to enroll as one of our providers. So it was interesting, but I've done those before and we'll certainly look to do that again.
Okay, any other old business that we have? Okay, now moving on to new business. We're gonna take both of these and look at them together. The draft of the 2026 board meeting schedule and the 2026 library holiday closure schedule. Can I get a motion for both A and B?
Can I add a question in here? Sorry.
Sure. Or can we get a
Yeah,
motion
let's
first?
do
We
that.
have to do a motion
Motion
first.
Don't worry, sorry.
Let's do a motion first. I'll make the motion, okay? Okay, John.
I didn't wanna make changes, I left this as it normally would be. I had discussed with the board president, at other times, us making some other closings, and this is just a request of the board, 2 items, that we would change on here. So if you look, when we do an early closing, one of them is at 5 PM, one of them is at 2 PM, and the other one is at 2 PM. That gets confusing for the public. So I was hoping that we could just move all of our early closings to 2 PM and make them uniform across the board. So that means the day, before Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve would all be 2 o'clock closings instead of having one at 5 PM. It's a small adjustment, but like I said, I just think it leads to less confusion, scheduling issues, things like that. The second, so that was one, and then the second is this coming year, July 4th is on a Saturday. So just a request, I was hoping that we might be able to close on Sunday as well and give staff a full weekend because I don't think we're gonna see a lot of people in Old Bridge coming in. They might be coming in from other libraries. It's not something that I would normally request every year. It was just this year because we're closed on Saturday and the Sunday is an abbreviated day, so to me it just made sense.
Yeah.
And the board president was in favor of those 2 requests.
Do you need to make any kind
So,
of adjustments to
Do you
this?
care to revise your motion to be section B as revised?
Yes, section B as revised, yes.
Frank, you're good with seconding it as revised?
Which one is this on the 2 o'clock, 5
The
o'clock?
2
Yes.
o'clock and then
Yeah,
closing, and then
5 o'clock
closing
and
July.
just gonna have
5
July.
to 2 and then closing Sunday after the Saturday.
My
4th.
observation on it, the people who are going at 2 are gonna go at 2. And if they can realize it's at 5 at the other one, they won't be late. So I don't know why that's such a big confusion. But you're gonna wind up closing for 3 hours earlier.
I'm in favor of closing.
So am I.
That's a half a day in most companies, I guess.
That's right.
When do the kids get out of school?
They get out, the elementary students will be out at 1:30.
Elementary,
Elementary?
no.
I'm trying to remember, I can't remember, I know.
They get out at 3:25.
11:30.
No,
half day,
half
half
day
day.
before
Half day.
Thanksgiving, yeah,
Yeah,
we're
half
talking
day.
about the day before Thanksgiving.
Half day, they're like 1 o'clock.
Anyway, kids aren't shopping for anything.
All right.
Okay.
Can I take a roll call?
Yeah, yes.
Good. All right. Rocco?
Yes.
Dr. George?
Abstain.
I am a yes. Gina?
Yes.
Okay, Mayor Walker?
Yes.
Frank?
Yes.
And we got everybody?
Yeah.
Yes, we did. Thank you.
All right, director's report.
No,
Oh.
new items, right?
Do we have a new item?
So that-
Have a chance to
You're
say?
still under new
Oh,
business.
my apologies. Try to move along a little bit, too quickly, sorry.
We have about 8,000 apartments in town, collectively,
How many?
8,000. And the rest are single-family, multi-family homes, very few double-family homes. One of the things that maybe to get a little more attention sooner for new people moving in, at homes, you can get that information when a closing takes place, usually you should get it from town hall. Now, the apartment people obviously don't have a closing usually. But the way you could get that information, if it's allowed, is when they register to vote for the first time. If that's something that can be given to us, because you're gonna have a lot more transient people and who may not even know the library exists. They might, and what I suggest is that we put like they used to do 40, 50 years ago, welcome to town, and here's all the things we have, blah, blah, blah. So, you have to talk to town hall and see what's legal.
We do, the rent stabilization chairperson is here, and the secretary is there. We do a rent roll, every year we give a rent roll to the township. And I
Okay,
kept wondering what we would do with it. Now you have something to do with it.
and that's the business we want, the business we want to get in this year is, part of that budget where we're marketing is print mailings. And how are we going about that? And are we buying lists? Clearly, we're not. We're going to do that another way, but what are we sending? Are we sending a card? How do we wanna do it? So we're gonna be working, absolutely, that's an excellent suggestion, and we're gonna be working on that.
We can help you on with the rentals.
Yeah.
And as far as the legality goes, there's, nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Right.
It's fully accessible to the public.
Rosemary and I kept saying, because originally it was supposed to be made to give to the building department to make sure that everyone that moved in, their apartment got inspected. But there's no check and balance in that, so Rosemary kept saying, what the heck am I doing with all these things? I mean,
Now you know.
Because
all these,
it's like
just
8 years of papers
paperwork.
just
It's a lot.
piled up on my
I mean,
desk.
I have 480 apartments at one, 188 at the other. But I mean, Glenwood has 1,168 apartments. Parkwood in London Terrace has 1,500. So, and there's more apartments coming in.
And New Amsterdam,
Now,
and Madison
Right,
Gardens.
well, that's why, that's what I'm saying, but the thing is this, now the new apartment complexes don't have to give a rent roll. But I do believe that it wouldn't be much more than just a phone call to say, would you mind giving us a rent roll just for the purposes of welcoming them to the community? A rent roll is literally pressing a button and getting it out.
I remember years ago, when I think I first moved here, we get like these newcomer packets.
Yep.
And it
I
had
got
a list of, things around town.
From the library.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
something like that would be great.
Yeah.
And that's where, one of the other things that I've asked staff to do is get out to the real estate agents.
Right.
Because selling people on the town's investment in cultural institutions gets people in here, so.
We also have the Township magazine that we put out with all of the different services, and the library is part of it.
Yeah, there hasn't been a new one in a while.
We need to
Yeah.
have one. It's every
Exactly.
2 years, I
It's
think.
kind of old, yeah.
It's 2 years,
Yeah.
every two.
It's been 2
The other
years.
thing that I would consider putting in that envelope, particularly going to the apartment people, is a list that probably also some of the libraries have it, or not commercial things, but every service that's related to the town, where medical places are, that kind of thing, the fast food.
Yeah, we do that in my property, that's part of the welcome package. We tell them where all the hospitals are, where the, where the library is, where the
Yeah.
school
Where the
districts
dog
are, we
pound
do
is,
all that,
whatever it
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
So part of the Mayor's Health and Wellness Council, what we're actually going to kick off for January is Bridge to Wellness. And it's about bringing all the resources to our community, meeting the people where they're at. So that's why going to the
Yeah.
HOAs. We're gonna actually kick off in January for township-wide, for the employees, a big fair, so they know what services we have here. And then we're going to look forward to moving it to the HOAs, having an event here, we're partnering with the YMCA, going to the different houses of worship. As part of that, this will definitely be part of the services, the information that we would be handing out. So that would be a conversation in about 2 weeks. with everybody involved that's partnering up with us, and you can come to that. And we can talk about how and what role the library can play when we go out. It'll actually be almost like a traveling event that we're going to take to the people, again, meeting them where they're at, because we have a lot of social services. People don't know how to get the information, which is why having a social worker here is going to help enormously.
You know what, the HOA connection that we need, you remember Mary started that HOA,
Right.
and they actually
Come to the
a
Business
review.
Alliance.
Well, actually, we could just have a separate HOA
Yeah.
connection
Right.
meeting. We have all their emails.
And that's what I wanna do, I wanna reach out to them and start to schedule when they have their meetings and bring this event to them. So if you have a lot that are hosting it here, it would be ideal, because then we can set it up here and have it
They
where
would
we
all
have all
come.
that literature.
We have their information.
Okay, that's
And
great.
I wanna start to get out, you know, when we have these iconic events, that's a great way to get information out. I've told staff also, you know, our football games, you know, would somebody let us put up a table, or, you know, a baseball practice? Let's, you know, just getting out there, it's why we got the Chilton's manuals that we now have for car repair, so that we can start to go to the car shows and get some people who may not be typical library users. And get them in with some products, you know, if you don't wanna read a book, that's fine, but you might wanna, you know, fix that transmission. Just making sure that we get everybody in there. And it has prep for technicians. Those who are studying to become automotive technicians, it has the test prep in that database
That's
as
really
well.
cool.
That's good.
So, yeah, I'm excited about that.
So we're having International Day on Saturday,
Yes.
and you have a team, so are you gonna bring,
So for International Day, my thought, so you have Pam coming and one of our very promising per diems. She was a temp for a maternity leave last year. And they're both gonna be there for that. So what I wanted for International Day was to promote Pronunciator,
oh,
which is our language learning
yes, perfect.
software.
Love it.
And then Canopy, which has a lot of foreign films on it. And then I think they're, you know, they're going a little wild with the concerts too. So, and I think everybody saw what's coming in my report with the logos and things that we have designed. I'm so excited for what we're gonna be doing this year. But, and I will need to, that annual report, Frank, I'm gonna unfortunately need that one back. I'm gonna make one change to that, and then it'll be printed out. And then we're gonna be sending those, you know, to county officials. We're gonna be sending them to, yes,
Oh,
yeah,
okay, I'm
the
sorry.
annual report, it's good. You'll all get copies when that's done, but not only will they go to the council, but these will also get sent out to the county legislators, they'll get sent out to our state legislators, anybody that we can, to all of our municipal partners. And this is 2024, it was a good a practice run, and we won't have to wait so long for 2025. And this is Pam's role as the coordinator of strategy and communication, and she's really done an outstanding job with this. Appreciate it, and I'll follow up on that.
One of the suggestions you might wanna consider, now you list a number of holidays on your list. It's on the 2025 one, and the proposed 2026, I don't think it's changed. But if you have some days that are listed and you do open, or closed. Now, you get a list that says 3 or 4 places where, you're not celebrating the holiday, but you list it. If you just don't put those on that list, you're gonna probably have a lot less questions.
I'm not sure I understand.
All right. The holiday came from Texas finding out that the Civil War was over 37 days later.
Yes.
And it's not a holiday virtually anywhere celebrated except for this part of the country. So if you take it off the list, it probably won't be questioned.
But I lost you, what holiday are you talking about? What is the list? Tell me which holiday.
The holiday I'm talking about, Juneteenth.
That's celebrated where?
It came out of Texas.
Okay, that's a federal holiday.
It's just that New Jersey,
It is a recognized holiday, we
it is, but New
that's
Jersey
not-
recognizes it at a different
Oh,
date, so
different
that's not,
day, that's.
that's why it's, that's why New Jersey's in parentheses
You're
there.
right.
It is considered it was made a national holiday, I believe, in 2020 or 2021. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a national holiday.
Okay. Any other new business?
Yeah, Veterans Day, they're open. And a lot of
Veterans Day is
places
not a
closed.
holiday, believe it or not.
Okay.
We're open on Veterans Day.
Well, the schools are open on Veterans Day.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys.
We were closed.
I'm
We
one
were
of those who
closed.
believes that we should be open on Veterans Day.
And
because
Memorial
that's our-
Day
We
is
had
from the Civil
ceremony
War,
this year,
so I
too.
don't know about that.
I'm a firm believer,
Yeah.
as the social studies supervisor, I always defend the idea that we should have our students in school on Veterans Day. Any veteran serving in the district should obviously have the day off if they so choose, but it's a day of learning and it's that teachable moment that I think every student needs to have. And I will defend that to the end.
I remember there was a social studies teacher when my kids were in school, and he took off, and we were off, Violet and I was like, wait, we're not off Veterans Day? And he was like, no, we have to go to school that day. Okay.
Yeah.
But my son's social studies teacher took
Holidays,
off.
I mean, there are learning opportunities, even like we're gonna be off, but at least a few days before, we need to discuss it, the kids need to know.
Right, and it, it's kind of funny that we, at the beginning of the week, I did receive emails from some of the principals asking, is this gonna be in their lesson plans, are they gonna be, yes, and, we do different things. On Friday, we're having a Veterans Day celebration at Salt School. Where we're bringing everybody, I'm sure you're gonna be there.
I saw the naming, I thought that was
yes.
fabulous.
That was-
No,
cool.
I wasn't
That was
invited.
wonderful.
Oh, you kidding?
No.
Uh-oh.
Must have been a typo.
I might have to call, yeah.
Remember, we
You are
open
partially
free-
Mr.
invited.
Resist is getting a phone call.
Now, none of the kids know about Memorial Day, do they? Not anymore. And
Yeah,
there's no vets.
well, there is, wait, I can say at the high school, Mr. Lassen, who helped
Yeah.
put together the Wall of Honor,
That's-
he's gonna be retiring, so someone's gonna have to pick
Yeah.
up the slack, but,
Is it gonna be you?
he's always done, he's always done something at the high school, that's always been something and I believe, Mr. Lenegro at Sandburg School does something there.
Oh, Chris does, yes.
Yeah, he usually does something too.
How about, Elio Bustamante, he was a Marine, maybe he'll take it
Yes,
up.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
he's someone we were discussing.
I never thought about it
We
like
have,
that.
we're still far away from making that decision,
Yeah.
but
Good
yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
Right,
But we're always looking, we're always, we're always taking those opportunities, we're trying whenever there's any kind of national holiday, things like that. But I always feel Veterans Day is that teachable moment that we should be talking about that with our students and the importance of, and, again, all the things that we all know.
Well, I
But
have
maybe
a
our
Korean
students
War
don't.
veteran that's 94, anytime you wanna have him over.
Joe?
I think I know who he is.
Yes, be prepared to be there for a few hours.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's
Years
gonna be
ago-
on Billings to be our grand marshal.
Years ago, we
this
had the
parade.
Tuskegee Airmen, I
Yeah.
remember that, Donna Kidler, who was, at the time, she was, an assistant superintendent, she managed to get the Tuskegee Airmen in.
Oh,
What about the
wow.
We always
ROTC
have
kids,
things.
do they do anything special on that day? Cause my son was in that program, but do they do anything special on that
I
day?
just think they assist any of the things that we do on those days, like they'll be there Friday.
Okay.
And any of the events that we do for Memorial Day or Veterans Day, things, they're always involved somehow. Because we always start off with the pledge and, the national anthem and all of that stuff and that we do with others.
It's very hard to get veterans because most of them are very elderly and the Vietnam veterans don't want anything to do with it.
They don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, they weren't treated well when they came.
I have
home.
one that works for me, I want Vietnam
It's
veteran.
very hard to get them, yeah.
Navy.
We still have Dwayne.
He was in the Navy.
I love Dwayne.
So do I wrote him yesterday, called him, my brother's favorite.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my brother did the same thing, I read. Oh, cool. 40 years he was in the Air Force, my brother.
Wow.
Appreciate that. Okay, anything else on new business?
Well, for what it's worth is, they already have a third of the recruiting for the armed forces for 2026 already.
We were in charge for a while, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so director's report, let's move on to that, and go ahead.
I have pretty much a good news parade for everybody, so I'm hoping that you're all up for that. I just wanted to start off with what I included with our brand guidelines that we have, so now we can start to have clear communication. This was sent to everyone just to show you, so what we had decided was not to have a marketing person on staff, but to have consultants come in. It saves us money and we can switch it up and get some different influences. So we finally have this brand guideline with our fonts, with making sure we're talking about the same thing and we're spelling it the same way. Part of this is for this spring for the town as well. The ADA compliance is, the standards are being elevated.
More,
What's that?
elevated higher than they were?
Yes,
Really?
that's for websites, for all of those things, and that's for this spring. And your website may already be there.
Better talk to Amy tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
So when you go through, and I just wanna show everyone, when you look at something like this, the colors have to be able to be easily distinguished to help people who are visually impaired. So there's a lot going on, so we wanted to make sure that we're there, and I know that that's for all towns over 50,000 people this year. So we have that. And then I think that's the editorial style guide, brand guidelines. Did everybody see our logos? For the concert series, which we're expanding past second Saturdays, and that's gonna be called Library Live. And I'm really excited for that because we want to celebrate music, not just on second Saturdays. We want to be able to partner with cultural arts and do all of those things, so I'm really excited. We finally have, we're gonna be doing some Broadway with the Old Bridge Theater Group. They're gonna be coming in to do some high school musical numbers, but we really want to make sure that we are seen as a place to celebrate music and arts. The other thing that we did, you saw the Idea Farm logo. I'm so excited about that. That includes our Library of Things, our Makerspace, and our learning kits. And all of those things are going really well. Once our renovations are done and we have things like our robotics table, we're really gonna be able to participate more with our partners throughout the municipality. The big push that we are doing right now, in addition to our projects, I told everyone our renovations with the bathroom and with the furniture, those are delayed until January. I am starting to do preparation for the next phases for furniture, since we're seeing how long it takes. So this way, when those are done, we're ready to roll into the next ones. So what we're doing in the meantime is actual library things. So we are prioritizing our AI instruction in the community, and we'll certainly partner with the schools. Rocco, I'll be asking if we can get you in to talk about parents and AI one evening here in the library. I know your schedule is so busy.
You got me.
We have, a lot of people are very uncertain about AI, and libraries across the country are stepping into the role of guiding the community. We have to. Nobody feels confident about AI because it's still evolving. So we need to be there. So I'm making sure that we have 3 speakers coming in for the public, that we're gonna start trying out some different people, that we're gonna be talking to our seniors, we're gonna be talking to our parents, we're gonna have weekend and evening programs.
You're probably gonna get a large attendance on that, I think.
Oh, I think,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so, I was so excited, sorry, my conference in Denver, I do get a little too worked up about these things. We have a person named Nick Tansey, who is the digital librarian, internet librarian, and he spoke at the conference. And he talked about, we're forming a task force. So amongst staff, we have an AI task force that's gonna be meeting once a month or twice a month, just to talk about AI and different aspects of it. The environmental impacts people wanna know about. Have we used ChatGPT? How does it work? How does it look like? We use Canva all the time for our promotions. Now that's gonna be heavily based in
There's an
AI.
AI section of it.
Right, social media, December 16th is moving over to now all of your information can be used for them to develop AI. All of your information on Facebook and Instagram and those kinds of things. So the task force is put together. We have speakers selected, and for training day, I included our training day schedule just so everyone can see. We have Jim Craner from the Galicia Group, who is going to be coming in to do a 2-hour talk about AI. And I would also like to invite all of our trustees who would like to come and to be there. And I'm also going to extend it to our partners in the municipality for anybody who wants to come and hear him. He's really fabulous. He trained the AI ambassadors amongst libraries in the state of New Jersey. There is a substantial fee, it's $750, but that's our training for the day, our formal training, the rest of it I'll do. So I will be sending out invitations to everyone. That's on Friday, November 19th, and he'll be speaking from 10 to 12. He had an onboarding meeting with us, so he doesn't just come in and give you a turnkey. He comes in and wants to know where you're at and what you're doing and really fine tunes the presentation. And then he made the mistake of saying that he'll gladly support us after the training is over. Think I won't, okay. So that's one that I'm very excited about. Next is information literacy. So this is another one where we've been doing so much. Our first book kits are in the schools. We are going to, if the elementaries don't go out because we have all those emerging literacy kits, we've been rearranging the library to make better use of some space, and we are creating a teacher resource area. So we know that our teachers are already doing it, and this, I have to thank the Old Bridge Education Association because they have prioritized this, the Teachers Association. So they are going to be buying materials and things like that for the library. They're gonna be funding some programs. I don't know if anybody saw the whale last year, giant inflatable whale that you can walk inside. They've already booked that for the summer. They're gonna be helping us out with some other programs, but they've said that they want to make better use of the library. So one of the things that we're doing is we're going to be doing an information literacy training. I don't know for how many people, but I think once we get that program together, and Rocco, I'll show you everything that we're doing and stay in touch throughout all of that. I have all of our librarians sitting down and going through the state training for school librarians, so that we're taking advantage of that. But getting the materials and all of those things together, because we need to have information literacy training for the public. So, and when I talk about information literacy training, I'm talking about not just digital literacy, not just media literacy, not just research skills, not just online behavior. We're talking about the whole thing. It was really interesting to listen. You're starting off with your kindergartners and your first graders and your second graders, and you're teaching them to ask questions. As a teacher, how hard is it to get kids to formulate questions these days? And teaching them that they have to say, do I have a knowledge gap? So some of these things, and what's great is our staff, our more recent graduates, just had all of this training in graduate school, so it's gonna be a good thing. Next is freedom to read. So all of you, I sent it in a few months ago in the director's report. This is New Jersey legislation that is designed to make book challenges a bit more regulated. We have an excellent collection management policy. If you all remember when we had the book challenges, it was super easy, we were able to get through those. The state wants things changed. Instead of me interpreting the policy, it's now gonna be a committee. It has to be. We don't have to have everything ready until next December, but we're gonna get started now. So the committee has to have at least one trustee on it. So if anybody wants to be on the book challenge committee, to start to think about that. That committee will have some trainings, which can all be done virtually, and then the communication will happen when we have a book challenge. So I'm going through that policy now, and we'll make sure that we've hit all the marks, and then it'll go to the policy committee to go over all of any changes that are there. AI and freedom to read collide because we do have to change our collection management policy because libraries, people across the country are using AI to create challenges to books. So we have to go into our policy and say that we only accept human-generated book challenges, things like that. So all of those will get done and will be sent to the policy committee. I just like to do the legwork first before I hand that over. Let's see, the library moves, the AI things. Frank, to go back to our emergency messaging. So the police department, for legitimate reasons, doesn't want to partner with us on emergency messaging. So again, Pam is looking into our alternatives. There are libraries in the area, one uses Nixle, which they said is very clunky. And we're going to look at something called MessageBee. But again, our partner libraries have already done all the legwork for us. So that's done. Our programming this year, we're finally starting to really have targeted programming meetings. So our theme for 2026 for programming and our interaction with the public is gonna be Tell Us Your Story. And that's going to also align with the 250-year anniversary of the American Revolution. So we're gonna be getting in that with some local history and things like that. Thank you to Township IT for helping us with our battery backup. That's taken care of. In the director's report, I listed those emergency blare horns that we have, which do pass inspection. I got an estimate for new strobes, just under $3,000. I recommend replacing. If anybody wants to hear what they currently sound like, I've compared them to sick ducks. I did get that for you, but we're gonna, I think it's a worthwhile investment to make sure that people are safe. And then we can get to having our fire drill. The PA system is repaired. I still need a microphone. Our old microphone is now not working with this system, so making emergency announcements I can't do yet, but our recorded announcements at night are finally taken care of. Okay. I don't know if anybody has seen, we have gone viral recently in our social media posts. Very proud of our staff. We had a post that has over 1,600 likes. So granted it's about the leftover water bottles, but we brought some happiness to people and raised awareness for the library. But we have started getting well over 100 for Halloween posts, over 250 for our collaboration with the food bank. So we're getting those, and we have a lot of interest. I want to tell everyone about one of our exciting programs coming up, which is a local author book fair. We're gonna be doing that in January. As you may know, there are people, it says everybody has a book in them, and a lot of people are interested. So what we're doing is we're starting off small, having 10 people, the first 10 people in Old Bridge residents only, who sign up will be able to come in at the book fair, talk briefly about their process for writing, and they're gonna have tables set up so that they can talk to people in the community. And they're gonna be able to sell their books on that day only.
Oh, nice.
Only. Any other time, there's no commerce going on in here. But we
The
have,
first 10 you said?
yes. And I think we had 8 applications, but 2 of them were not Old Bridge residents. So,
And they
so
paid
you-
the
this was posted.
$75, and then they could be in?
yeah, I'm sorry, what's that?
They paid the $75 to be a member of the library, could they get in there for that?
I mean, we're said residents, so no. But
Later on maybe, but
And-
to start, yeah, I would say the same thing, the residents first.
I've done this program at other libraries and it's worked out really well where we expanded it and we were able to include independent publishers and things like that, and we actually ended up doing it twice a year. But for this first one, that's what we're
Can
gonna,
I ask you, just your social media, when you were saying your likes, are you referring to Facebook or are you talking about all the platforms? You use all-
Facebook.
So Facebook I find is more our generation, and I don't think as many of us go on there. So I think if you had like Pam and some of your other staff work on doing like maybe an Instagram or wherever the kids are on,
Yeah.
and start to generate posts through there, you'll get a lot of excitement, because I think that's what the kids are on.
So I think what most of the kids are on is TikTok.
Okay.
And I've been extremely hesitant with TikTok use. So this is one thing, I absolutely understand advertising to kids. I also have tremendous concerns about legitimizing use of social media for kids and encouraging them to get information that way. So we're working on finding balance, and we're gonna make a reel and put that on Instagram Instagram this week and see how we're doing. I just wanna make sure that we're being a little cautious.
Right, I don't mean
Yeah.
like advertising just whatever, I mean like advertising special events.
Right.
Things that are happening in the library that will be of interest to high school students, juniors, because those are the kids on there. As much as we don't want it, they're all on these social media platforms, so, but being very diligent as to how we're presenting it.
Right.
But making sure that it's being presented in a way where we're informing the youth of the community what we have going on.
Yeah, and like I said, I just wanna be very careful because when we do that, we're saying that this is a valid use of your time to be on here. So we're getting there. Absolutely though. So we have, all right, the school kids going out, library moves. We just have so many things I wanna share with you all the time that it's hard for me to remember. I don't wanna miss anything. Okay, new board member booklets. I don't think we've had board member handbooks in a while with all the policies and things like that. So Linda has already started working on those since we have the new superintendent. And because some of our other board members did not get those, we're just gonna do them for everyone. So in January, we're gonna make sure that everybody gets a new handbook, especially with this Freedom to Read Act and new legislation coming up that's gonna impact libraries. We wanna make sure. One of the things that I put in that, the 2024 annual report is library funding is something that is it's mystifying for a lot of people. Because it is the 1/3 mill, it's determined by the state, that all of that, so all of that's explained.
Yeah, people don't get that at all. They think we control the funding for the library. They're writing me, why are they getting a raise?
And that's, you know, that's exactly it, that, it's that 1/3 mill. So, I did put that in there so that people can see it, may not be a good idea. Or some people may be very bothered by the fact that I put it in there, but I think that the transparency and communication will hopefully, serve us well. And then just the last bit, I know that Chris was checking in on the QPA situation that the
Yes.
board had asked with that, and I know that we're waiting on a response.
Yeah, I heard back from Ken, the township attorney, this morning, and Anna is gonna reach out to you when she gets back.
Excellent. So I don't wanna miss anything, but I think that's it. Okay.
Any questions about the director's report?
No, but it brought something to mind. When we expanded the passport operation by advertising in Monmouth County, and we then went after Staten Island. Now, a lot of people, mom and dad live in Manalapan down here, and we're open on weekends. So is there any way of determining how many applicants have applied from New York passports in the last few years?
I would have to ask Felicia what data is collected and what they're allowed to share, with privacy concerns.
Well, we
Just
could
numbers,
share
I
raw
don't-
numbers, for instance, 50 people from Staten Island.
That's all.
That's
Right, I'm
permissible.
saying I don't know that we're collecting
But
that.
if you don't have it, then.
We'd have to go through their applications, that's where my
Okay.
privacy issues are coming up. We haven't been tracking that, we've, like I said, you'd have to go into their applications and I'm not sure about the legality.
Yeah, that's different.
And I had asked a number of times before to separate that from just fines,
Yes,
have it be more exact. And of course, things have changed, we don't get papers, we can't combine the mail, and do a lot of things.
yeah. We have to make changes for January for our chart of accounts. And I mentioned some of them in the director's report, but they are valid things. So right now, we're showing the passports, we're not showing what we're spending for passports. So when you look at our budget, what we're spending for to mail those things looks like it's coming out of our appropriation instead, and then it looks like everything from passports is extra money, and it's not. So that has to get changed. We have other things, like all of our electronic resources are in one bucket right now. You can't tell what's accounting software from what's a materials database, from what's a research database, from what's, a software that we use to create videos. So we need to put some granularity in there, and I need to move some things around, but that'll be coming for the next budget. We certainly want to start in January with the new year. We wanna make sure that we start looking at things that way. And things are gonna get a little more complicated because our big projects that we approved, meaning the bathroom renovation and the other renovation, are going to be completed in 2026, but we voted those projects in 2025. So the monies are gonna be coming out of 2025 because those funds have already been encumbered for 2025. So that's gonna make life a little more complicated for Irene, with what we're seeing, because that's not gonna be coming out of our 2026 budget. That's gonna be billed back to 2025, and those are substantial projects.
Alright, okay, so let's move on to committee reports. Buildings and grounds, there is nothing new to report. Finance?
Nothing.
Okay, outreach marketing?
I think we covered it.
Personnel negotiations already covered. Policy, you have some things upcoming, so probably be giving information early in the beginning of next year.
As soon as I get those drafts, I'll get them to you.
Great, and finally, technology. Okay.
The only thing I do wanna bring up is the building on Marlborough Road, so I reached out to everyone, but not everybody was available. So I figured it was smarter to do it when we can all go, or a majority of us can go, and then go see it this way. I'll get the specs there, Matt's getting it for me from
I
Nicole.
think you have to get Casey's opinion on the building.
Yeah, we'll have Casey come, yeah, we'll have
Definitely Casey
Matt,
would be
Casey, so we wanna make
Yeah.
sure that everybody's there before we do it. I wanna see what availability is. So I was actually thinking if we could do it during the day, and I know you wanted to come as well, right, to see a building.
Yeah.
So we would like to do during the day, because it's cold out now and it's dark early. Preferably, is lunchtime better? Like if I could get a majority of time that works for everybody and figure out what's the best,
Yeah, that would work for me.
12, 1?
Yeah, either or.
I'd like to give you a review of what happened when we went there previously.
We don't need a review, we were all there previously.
I would like, yeah, I would like to know.
Oh, I'm sorry, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's an old building, it's a good size, it's a decent sized property, so you could have a playground there if necessary. The issue is, you need to put an elevator in the building if you wanna use the second floor. Because those stairs are old and you wouldn't want young kids going up and down those stairs. I don't think it wouldn't be a good idea. It's large enough in size to be, it's gotta be 7,000 or 8,000 square feet, close to it. Good sized building, and again, the biggest straw that it would take would come out of Ward 6 and potentially Ward 5. However, the suspicion is that most of those people go to either Monroe or East Brunswick. So the question is, even if you get that up and running, it'll be it'll not be the full main library, so they still may continue to go to those two towns. So I think one of the things we gotta keep in mind is, we haven't had a lot of vocal complaints or anything that I'm aware of. So I think we need to determine that first.
Well, we have to look also to see, I mean, if we're taking over a building, it's not gonna be grandfathered in, we're gonna have to make it ADA.
Yes.
Yeah.
At least everything
All of
including
that,
that.
so
Yeah.
that's.
I think the main thing is we have to find out, is the building salvageable?
Right.
Because I've heard some things, that's why I think Casey's very important that you be there, I think that's the first
Yeah,
step.
I think Casey was there last.
Yeah, we had
I mean,
Casey and Matt, and we had,
That's the first thing we.
Well, very
Well,
This
too.
is salvageable,
Well,
it can be retrofitted
They had
with the
told me
compliance
an
issues.
engineer is what you really need on something
Yeah,
like that.
they had told me the building was not in good shape, but I don't know what it would cost to renovate it, we have to find out.
the property is a nice lot, like you're saying.
Yeah.
So even if it was something, depending on what it would cost, to maybe have to take part of it down, rebuild it, or knock it down and
I
build
was
it,
gonna say,
maybe,
sometimes
it
it
may
might
be
be cheaper just
worthwhile.
not to
Just to
Because
be
the
cheaper,
property
yeah.
is there, and Township owns it, and we haven't done
Maybe we have
anything
a
with
big
it.
event here.
And we could
Right.
really utilize that for that area, and I think that if we are able to build it, we
I
can build
think
it.
it would be
Right.
used,
So-
there's a big population there.
Yeah, I think it's a huge
If you had like a
population.
big event, you can have it there.
I think it would be.
But, and also that's, if it has a basement, you know what I mean, putting
No,
books
there's
in,
no basement.
put it, so it's slab.
It's a bad building, it's not
Yeah.
great, I'm gonna be very honest. It's not a good building,
The
it
reason-
is like
I
falling
don't think you
apart
want a
and.
basement in the
Yeah.
fire department.
The,
because of
the,
trucks.
the reason I'm saying is because the weight of books
Yeah.
is very different construction with, when you're dealing with that.
I never thought of that.
And then, there
Yeah,
have
that's
been libraries that were
They're
built
heavy.
and then collapsed
Oh,
Yeah.
geez.
when they put the books in, because the weight, like,
You ever
Yeah.
try to move it yourself in a
Yeah.
Did they weigh
box?
two fire?
what's that?
Did those books weigh as much as 2 fire trucks?
Probably,
Yeah, there used to be
probably.
a fire.
And then bookmobiles have to be built differently, they have to have
Yeah.
different brakes. Because when you're trying to slow down with
Yeah.
a van full of books, it's a different item. So that's why, yeah, I wanna see, but we do have the data that I'm seeing now, which we're getting into, we're working, making progress on statistics. But it appears that over 4 miles, the drop off in people going to the library is precipitous. So that's where we can look at how far people are out and how far they're willing to go. And then we have to look at what we want to do. We know that our meeting rooms are full with people, a lot of people are coming here. Our quiet area gets very full. People want a quiet place to go to study. So what is it we want? We don't wanna duplicate this entire library there, but do we want just Wi-Fi and workspace? And a book locker to pick up books, right? Is it going to be events where we do want an event space for people to come in?
And I think, cause originally when Senator Henry at the time had mentioned that building, he was saying for municipal alliance and cultural arts to take it over. Now, when we were looking for a space, that was the one. So then when we were looking for a space, I said, how about as a partner here? And he was like, that's a fabulous idea. So personally, if we would do the books, the library can have maybe mommy and me classes, because I'm gonna tell you, I live in that area, so many new construction, so much
A
and so much more coming, and they're all young families, so you have a lot of young kids. I know right now we're in a cycle where the school district is very low in comparison from when my kids were there. Now, you're gonna see that trend go, and we're gonna start
And
to
what would
see
we be
a
talking
huge
about,
influx of kids.
what would we be talking about in manning it, like what would be, that's it.
And this is where the
2
significant
people,
costs go.
at least 2.
Yeah, you would
At
need to
least,
use
a lot more than 2.
How
You're talking- you gotta
how are you
7,000
planning on
square
being
foot.
open?
Yeah.
How many do you have in Lawrence Harbor?
Lawrence Harbor, there are 3 rotating part-time library assistants, 1 full-time librarian, and it's very difficult when she takes off. There are times when she's off, when she's out sick.
What's the square footage of that building?
It's tiny.
I'm
Yeah,
talking,
it's
we're
really
talking,
tiny.
we're talking 7,000 square feet.
We can't even
They
have
love
programs, we
it. Yeah.
can't even have programs.
It's
in there.
nice.
You have to look and see
Something,
what the
it's so
cost is
quick.
gonna be.
Yeah.
Are you talking about
People
the
do
new
like it in their neighborhood.
building
Yeah,
that's
they
still
do.
being built, or are you talking?
No, I'm
about-
talking about
We
the
could do
current.
something by
Yeah,
that
well, that's-
area.
I haven't heard anything about anything else. So.
But you could definitely do like a stage out there, we could tie up cultural arts
Well,
there, it would be beautiful
You know what we're working on,
sculptures
we're
and-
trying to get next year in town, portable stage,
Or
I'm
you
gonna
can
bring
stage.
it, yes.
That'd be great. You can rent it out to other towns too.
I'm pretty confident we're getting it.
I hope
That's where we're
so,
gonna go
'cause
to
we
get the
really
part-
need
you know, I
one.
think we need it.
Yeah.
Needed it a long time ago.
I know, we're
Yeah.
gonna get it.
That's
It just, it's not announced yet, we're gonna have holiday in the park on December 14th at
Oh,
the trail, it's gonna be really fabulous. in the
nice.
afternoon.
It's gonna look pretty.
It's gonna be
With
beautiful,
lights.
we have a lot of surprises, I can't tell you.
Very,
You
very
just told us one
exciting.
day. I didn't tell you the surprises though, that are coming out there.
We'll get it out
Are we
before.
all getting a pass?
What's that?
Are we getting a pass, so we don't say anything to anybody else?
Why didn't tell you the surprises?
This is fun.
All right, any other comments?
I just wanna add, I'm excited tomorrow, I've been pushing the consortium that we're in, Stella, never really took the place. Libraries have normally partnerships with all the other libraries in the area, everybody helps each other out, shares experience, resources, things like that. The libraries of Middlesex County have not met since I've been here. The Stella Consortium evolved into something different, that really should only be about the catalog. Tomorrow's the first time since I got here that we're having a meeting of just the directors of Middlesex County. And I'm very excited for that to get started again. Yep, and that's it.
Okay, do we have any comments from the public?
No public
Present, okay.
So what's the famous line with the word Stella in?
Streetcar.
Just Stella's, just Stella's, Stella's.
All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you very much. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, Dr.
See you in
George.
December.
Rebecca can